Prime Minister Rama, Prime Minister Kovačevski, thank you very much once again for being together with our delegation here in Italy in Bardolino, and many thanks to the Mayor of Bardolino and to our Italian hosts that made this meeting possible here, 20-something kilometers away from Verona. Profoundly grateful once again to you, dear colleagues, because of the fact that we had once again a very fruitful discussion on the real issues, on the issues that means real life for the people of open Balkans countries. And what we discussed is how we can help ordinary people removing all remained hurdles and obstacles in free trade and free flow of goods, services, capital and people in the open Balkan countries. And we discussed many concrete issues, and we believe that we'll prepare almost everything before the beginning of summer season, that we're going to make easier people to come across the borders of each of our countries, and I think that people will appreciate that a lot. And we discussed all the other issues regarding phytosanitarian, veterinarian, and all the other approaches regarding food security and getting an easier access to the other countries. What we discussed also together with North Macedonia, we're going to deliver to all our people those EMP cards or electronic cards for pay tolls at our highways. This is, just a tiny thing, but when I say tiny thing, that tiny thing means real progress for the people, for the people's living standards. And we discussed also an admission and acknowledgement of new ID cards, which will bring to people more discounts in our retails, our hotels, and all three of us, hotels and retails, and we'll be able to deliver on it, we believe, in a month to come. We did almost everything regarding completion of the process of issuance of working permits, and that would be, I dare to say, foundation, a real cornerstone for the economic cooperation of all of us. My friends will tell you the real numbers, but something very important. We increased the level of our trade with, at least North Macedonia did it with us and we did it with them. It's just a bit difference in our assessments, around 50% in the last 3 years. And still, the biggest obstacle for all of us in the entire Balkans, not only speaking about open Balkans today, is that when you have a truck carrying something, let's say food products, they spend 70% at border crossings of their time, which means driving time is 30%, 70% it's border time. That's what we'll have to overcome. In the meantime, there are a lot of other things. Eddie will organize bread fair in Albania, but I'll let him announce it, and we'll have once again wine fair, film festivals together. Our kids will organize summer cup and many other things. We want to engage furthermore between us, and sorry that I took a lot of your time, and many thanks to our friends once again, and would like to invite Albanian and North Macedonian people to visit Serbia more often, as I'm inviting Serbian people to go to Albania and to North Macedonia and to meet a very hospitable approach of our friends from these two countries. Thanks once again.
Thank you, and first of all, big thank you to the mayor here for his hospitality and for letting us for an hour to feel like totally at home and to have this communication. We are here, the three of us, because we have made it to be part of the one of the greatest manifestations in Europe of wine production in Italy, in Verona, and for the first time our producers are showing up in this really Champions League fair, and will be here thanks to starting first with the Open Balkan Fair in Belgrade last year, which will be repeated and of course bigger and with much more attention this year. So it will be a great opportunity to speak about our agriculture, about our wine production, about our challenges and our ambitions, and also it will be a great opportunity for our producers to contact and to get in touch, and why not to make their deals with the Gotha of wine production and wine trade in Europe and more broadly in the world. On the other hand, this was an opportunity to share some opinions and to look forward for the next meetings. We are going to meet at the end of May, and then we're going to have the bread fair in Albania, beginning of fall, and then the wine fair. In the meantime, we are starting to organize what we have already announced long ago, the first summer cup among kids in schools, elementary and high schools, with the best teams. We know from now that Serbia will win, but still, as they say, it's not important who wins, but it's important to participate. And in the meantime, I'm sure that having this experience, our kids will learn from each other, and our kids in Albania will learn from the best in this kind of sports that for some reasons I have never understood. Serbia is very good when it comes to a ball and going around with the ball and putting the ball in the net or throwing the ball from the other side or whatever it is. So we have to adopt, and maybe in the long run we will make treasure of this experience, and who knows. But let's not talk about beating the Serbs in the future, because this can create problems in the present. The other point, which is very, very important, is that we are working on a strategic view about strengthening the relation with the European Union, strengthening the cooperation, but at the same time making sure that there is a very clear dialogue about who does what. And as we have said before, when it comes to the European integration process and the clusters and the chapters and the paragraphs and the sentences and the commas and the double commas, we are very keen to do them, and we are not going to ask gifts, we are not going to ask fastening up artificially. We want to be very good in this homework because it's for us. But at the same time, there are certain things that need to change when it comes to the convergence gap and to the economic aspect. We are preoccupied, and I cannot hide it, about this new run in Europe, starting from Germany and then to other developed countries in search for workforce. Is their absolutely legitimate position to do so, but at the same time, we are not somewhere. We are in the middle of Europe, and for this also we'll discuss very thoroughly in our May meeting. And to conclude, I wanted just to bring a very significant number on the trade volume. The trade volume of 2022 among the open Balkan countries have increased of 24.8% to be very precise. So 1/4. It's a huge increase that, of course, is the result of all we have done. And for sure, we are very happy to see that also in the Berlin process there is progress. We don't see these initiatives as contradictory, but as complementary. And we are always going to call upon the other members of this category or this neighborhood or whatever you call it, our region, to join whenever they feel like, to join half-hearted, to join with no heart, to join full-hearted. It's their choice. We don't check the heart engagement. We just want to check the results and the good that our initiatives bring for our people. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to thank to the media that are here today with us in such a big number. Second, I would like to thank to the hosts, the region of Veneto, this beautiful city of Bardolino, and their mayor that gave us all the logistics and support to have our meeting here. And also to thank to my friends, President Vучиć and Prime Minister Rama, that together today we are at one of the biggest and the most important wine festivals here in Italy, Vin Italy, where we have a joint stand, the wine vision of Open Balkan. When you are speaking third on the same topic, then there is a big possibility that you will repeat most of the things, but as they say, repetition is the mother of knowledge. I will repeat some of the most important things. First, it proved that Open Balkan is giving results for the people and for the businesses. It proved what we were repeating all the time, that the Open Balkan is not a political initiative, but on the contrary, it is an economic initiative which is based on the 4 freedoms on which is based the European Union. Free movement of people, goods, services, and capital. And it is proved through numbers, as Alexander and Edi said, and I will state some more numbers, that the trade of North Macedonia to Serbia, 2022 versus 2019, increased for 53%. And also, the Serbian trade increased towards North Macedonia. 40% the trade increased, the trade volume towards Albania, and also from Albania increased to North Macedonia. So it proved that the barriers, the non-tariff barriers which we had on the borders, were practically stopping our people and businesses to work together. With the implementation of the green lines, with the only one phytosanitary controls, we improved, increased, and fastened the trade between the countries. My statement that I gave in Belgrade, which practically was the biggest headline after that press conference, together with Prime Minister Ana Brnabić, I will repeat once again. There is no bigger stupidity than the borders on the Balkans. We were countries without borders, and now we are the only countries with borders in Europe. When you go north from Serbia, up to Scandinavia, you do not have borders. When you go west from Serbia, to Portugal, there are no borders. The only borders are on the Balkans. And the data which President Vучić shared with us, that 70% of the transport actually is spent on the borders, is data also shared by the World Bank. So we do not need these borders because they are stopping our people of communicating between each other. This wine festival is also important for North Macedonia because we are the second biggest exporter of wine in the region. So after Greece, we are the biggest exporter with 60 million euros of annual export of wines. Today there will be 14 high-quality wineries from North Macedonia which will be present together on the same stand with the best wineries of Serbia and Albania. And we will show to everyone that this regional cooperation which we have is not only helping our people in our countries, but also it is helping all the people in all our three countries to position ourselves internationally on one of the biggest fairs in the world. This will also be a possibility that we attract exhibitors to come on our Buying Vision Festival, Open Balkan in Belgrade, which will happen again in November. We discussed one also important thing is that, you know, our film producers and filmmakers and artists, they always go for some important festivals, and they will continue to go on important festivals around the world. But we agreed that we will make also our film festival, which will be made in Skopje, and we will start with the preparations. We will organize sport games for the champions of the high schools and elementary schools in our countries to compete between each other, because where the kids are, that's where the parents are, so we can get closer our citizens. At the end, I want to conclude that this initiative is something which really is organic, is authentic, and is based on the good faith, the goodwill, and the good neighborly relations between our three countries. The data which we shared, the benefits which we shared, and the benefits that will come in the near future with the one electronic pay toll system between North Macedonia and Serbia, and in the future with Albania. With the open ID card that every employee can start immediately a work from one country into another, there is no bigger motive and no bigger proof for the other countries from the region to come and to join the Open Balkan. Because if one thing has proven to be right, that is that if we are together, then we are always stronger. Thank you.
Yes, we disagree on many issues, but primarily on this issue which you have just mentioned. But I don't rebook Eddie, or he doesn't do that with me, and we can refute each other claims, but we don't do it. We speak about cooperation and collaboration, and I believe that what Anna was saying was pretty much true. It's the fact that economy is the real foundation for the better relationship, and I'm proud that Albanian people, when they come to, doesn't matter which part of Serbia, Belgrade or some other places, they feel safe, secure, and they feel very much well received. And it's, dare to say, it's almost the same when Serbs or the other citizens of Serbia, when they go to Albania. But the question, my counter question, rhetorical one, would be always, okay, what should we do? Making more fights, making more quarrels, making more clashes, making another Ukraine, or what? Because I see that there are many people in Serbia that would like to see, you know, like a big fight, or I don't know what. What do you expect from us? If you expect from us to make this political burden even bigger and heavier to all Serb or Albanian people, I will do my best to avoid it. And I believe that Eddie is doing the same. And that's how responsible and serious people do. And it's easy to make some and to gain some political points saying, or, you know, bashing, insulting Prime Minister Rama today, and he acted like a hero. He said everything to him. Well, we know our differences, and we can live with that. We can live with that because our people need to live, and our people need to be connected to each other. And I believe in the future friendship of Serbian and Albanian people. And even today, I believe that the relationship between our people are much better than it used to be. Thankfully to our Albanian friends, and partly thankfully to us as well. Thanks.
And let me just bring you back in the times when we didn't speak to each other for decades, and ask you, was it better? And if we would have continued to not speak to each other, if we would have continued to stay behind the barricades of the past, today we could have been in a very, very bad place, all of us, with all the crisis that has unfolded just in the border of Europe. But we are not. Of course, we have a big disagreement, or let's say it's not a disagreement, frankly, it's just a big distance, more than a disagreement when it comes to what you call Kosovo and Metohija and what I call Kosovo. But is this a reason to not talk, or this is a reason to talk more? I think this is a reason to talk more. And by the way, also the process of normalization is in a different place today. The dialogue is in a different place today. And I strongly believe that, you know, although everyone can take credit, I think the credit goes to the people of this region and to the need to not bring people towards another precipice. And I must tell you, I met with Prime Minister Kurti a few days ago, and I found him much more open and constructive than before. And I told him, and I told publicly, and I'm repeating, it's very important to push and to make sure that both the association and the religious side of the dialogue be guaranteed 100% for the Serbian people in Kosovo that are a minority and should be seen like the bridge of the future, not like the problem between all of us and the future. And frankly, these are not taboos anymore, and I told him that he has our full support to go further and to somehow let behind what is the past and what were the rhetorics and the words said in the past that didn't help. So what are we doing here, practically? We are here not for us. It's not a touristic visit, it's not something else, but we are here for our producers, the producers of wine, which is more than just a product, is the reputation of a country, is the visit card of a country, and we know it very well. And we are here with them to open to them the doors of one of the biggest, if not the biggest, wine fair in the world. So what is wrong here? Nothing. On the contrary. And we want to do more. And as Dimitri said, we want to do more with the bread fair. We want to do more of the wine fair, which will have the second edition. We want to do more with the kids, with the art, with the culture, and we want everyone to get involved. As we have said before, the Open Balkan Wine Fair is for all the producers, not just for producers from Serbia, Albania, or North Macedonia. And if producers from France, or from Italy, or from Australia come, what the hell is going on with the producers from Bosnia, for example? Or why not the producers from Kosovo or from Montenegro? So we have to keep going in this direction, and believe me, with all the distractions, with all the troubles, with all the patriots that we have to deal with. And frankly, I say patriots, but I don't think they are patriots wherever they are in our chart, because a patriot is not someone that to love his nation needs to hate another nation, and to praise his nation need to burn another nation. We have to keep going, and we are in the best place we have ever been in the history of this region. And again, credits are not important. Everyone can take credit. I'm very, very happy to see the EU, the US, everyone taking the credit for the efforts they are doing, the Berlin process. In our small, we are just doing our best. And this is, I think, very good. So you like the Albanian fish you are having in the Belgrade waterfront?
No, we have it in many restaurants in Belgrade, as a matter of fact.
Try. Don't say that he built the waterfront to be then occupied by Albanian fishes. Enjoy this kind of occupation.
We have it even in a very famous restaurants in Belgrade, fish coming from Greece and Albania mainly.
And we, for the first time, have succeeded to open the doors to our meat producers, because otherwise they couldn't get out of Albania anywhere. As also your or others, because of the borders and the standards that we have to fulfill with Europe. But you see, we are not afraid that we'll be poisoned by each other's products. You know, I understand the Europeans are still afraid because we are strange guys. But the thing is that you know, our meat producers, yeah, the strangest being the Serbian language, just for the record.
Thank you.
I can say just in a sentence. It's next month we'll be meeting somewhere in Serbia, and this is going to be very important because Dimitar did many things in the recent time on all our issues, and then we'll see whether we're going to have in June somewhere else in the region, and then we go for bread fair, then we go for wine fair. But in the meantime, there is, if I may reveal this, it's not a secret. Thank you, Dimitar, because it was his idea. That's why I asked him. We'll do our best to see one day, just opening all the doors, opening all the entries, all the exits between us, you know, just to show to people how it can function without borders. And, you know, we are not going to listen to those people. Terrorists will come, you know, otherwise terrorists are not coming, you know, but we are stopping them on our borders, which is stupid, of course, but then we're going to show to people how the openness might function, and I'm certain that we're going to meet jubilance of the people when we show it, and we're going to pick the very best day for that, and I believe that people will like it, and then we'll keep on working on it. And we're going to do this many important arrangements in the meantime, and we'll have to be more present on all our border crossings to see how to not just maintain, but how to do things smoothly, swiftly, efficiently, which is of an utmost importance for our economies. Thank you.
Today we had really a very fruitful meeting with the two colleagues. We actually shared the calendars of all the events which we have in North Macedonia. And these events we want to be open Balkan events. So we have a very nice small producers of food event in Skopje. And this will be now open for Albanian small food producers and Serbian small food producers. What President Vучиć said, when we have an event like this, or a similar event, we are under organization also of a big aero fair in Skopje, on which there will be planes coming from many countries, but also from Serbia. There is also one thing I have to reveal. There are 2 airplanes in the Military Technical Museum in Belgrade, which carry the name of our Ilindan uprising, and one of them will be brought back after so many years to Skopje. And for this I have to thank to President Vучić and to the relevant ministers and the director of the museum. And then we're going to do, as President said and revealed, and try to do a day without border, so that our people can cross the borders with the ramps open. And let's see if we survive. So this is my goal, to see one day that we can pass the border without actually having a border.
It will be our way of tearing down Berlin Wall.
No, if for slowdown of the Open Balkan you meant less meetings in the meantime, yeah, we had maybe less meetings in the meantime, but it doesn't mean that we were not communicating and we were not looking into implementation of issues. And in the meantime, we had a very important step taken by the North Macedonian Parliament, which ratified all the agreements, and it was very, very important. So we are on track, and as I said, we see all the initiatives, and including the normalization dialogue, as part of the whole thing. It's not that we want to create an open Balkan that serves purposes that are different from the purposes that all these initiatives serve. On the contrary, so I'm sure that this will give more and more and more and more arguments and reasons to feel good about it. We'll meet in a place during this period that is still secret, to just not be surprised for seeing us here in Verona, prepared to see us somewhere else in Europe, not for tourism, but for the Open Balkans and for all the initiatives that we want to push forward. Now I know that the secret will be the main news, and I'm sorry for Alexander, but the Serbian media will talk about the Albanian secret and the president being an hostage, which is somehow true.
I believe that we're going to do it till June or July, finally, which is very important. That's a cornerstone for the creation, for the formation of Open Balkans market, and that will be very helpful to all our people. We have shared recently, in last 10 years, many companies doing business, let's say, in North Macedonia and Serbia. And if we need to bring some people from Kruševac, from Kromberg-Schubert to North Macedonia, and vice versa, there have always been thousands of problems. Now there won't be any problems. And it would be, and not only that, people can find their jobs in Belgrade, or in Skopje, or in Tirana, or in Saranda, Valona, doesn't matter where. And I believe this is really of an utmost importance for our future cooperation, and yeah, that's...
So, the important thing is that this again proves that we are talking about the 4 freedoms of Europe. when we talked about the increase of trade volume between the three countries, we are talking about the free movement of goods and services. And we proved that it has been increased on average, as Eddie said, 25%. In our case, more than 40 and 50% with the respective countries. When we start the Open Balkan ID, this is exactly implementation of the free movement of people. So instead of the need for 6 months getting permits and everything, which you need to get if you want to go to work from Kumanovo in Kragujevac or from Kruševac in Skopje,
Or from Vranje to
or from Vranje to Kumanovo, or from Struga to Elbasan, or from Elbasan to Ohrid. Now every citizen on the national electronic services portal of each of the countries can redeem his or her Open Balkan ID, and with this ID number can apply very easily for the relevant licenses, social security and everything in the institutions within the country. And it will be a matter of days to finish the whole procedure, which now lasts for months.
just
And
using cell phones.
it will be everything electronically. Why is it important? Recently I was on an opening of one of the fastest growing companies, not regionally, but also worldwide. It's a Serbian company with a seat in the Silicon Valley and with production facility, software production facility in Skopje. So they are bringing engineers from Serbia, they are bringing engineers from other countries, but also from Albania, and we need fast implementation of their working permits so they can immediately start work and produce the software. Why? Because the faster you do it, the faster you sell it, the faster GDP grows. And this is what our people need. They need living standard, which will be on a level of a European Union country. But they want to live in their countries on a level of European Union countries, not to go abroad in Germany or in France or other countries and to live in European Union. We want to make, with our cooperation, our citizens to live in European Union, but in our countries, in our region.